G'day, Andy from Single Malt. How you doing? Today we're going to do Glengoyne. Now, Glengoyne's an interesting distillery. It's an independently owned and run distillery, and it lies about 50 k's north of Glasgow, heading up towards Stirling. Now, it actually lies right on the border of what would be considered the highlands and the lowlands. So the distillery itself is on the northern side of the border, and so is a highland distilled whiskey, but the barrel house is on the other side of the road, and as such are matured in the lowlands. Not that it matters really, it's just a demarcation. The big thing about this whiskey, or its unique selling point, is they specify that all of their barley is non-peated. It's air dried, so they don't use any peat in their distillation process, and the water is purified as well, so there's no peat from the groundwater. So it's all about the malt, which is where their catch cry comes from, which is the real taste of malt. I think they've changed their packaging recently, so you can. This is the traditional packaging, so if you look at some retail stores, the big guys, you probably won't see Glengoyne in this packaging, which is the traditional packaging. I can't say what the whiskey's like. It certainly looks different. So this one's the old school. It's matured in a blend of American and Scottish sherry oak barrels, giving it which should be imparting that nice balance that we like. Lots of rich flavours from the sherry oak and the cleanness from the American oak barrels. We've been chasing this little fella for quite a while. It hasn't been easy to get hold of. I had some agreements for distribution in Australia, and we've been trying to get it for the club, but they've been reluctant to supply to us. So hence we've not tried this one before. I've tried it at the distillery, but I haven't been able to do a review of it or offer it to members before. So we'll give it a go and see how it goes. No caramel added, so it's only the colour from the barrel, and it's good because it shows us what the whiskey is going to be like, rather than the disguising it with artificial colours. So you can see that there is a bronziness to it, reflective of the sherry oak, and it also has a beautiful brightness because of the charcoal and the American oak taking out all those nasties. Now I've got a little bit of hay fever, so my eyes are a little bit puffy and my nose is a little bit affected. So I'm not getting a lot on the nose, but that might be more to do with the way I'm feeling rather than the whiskey itself. There's certainly some toffee coming through, and some caramel, and it's coming up to Christmas, and I can actually smell Christmas cake. So that's probably the fruits from the sherry oak coming through with that particular aroma. Okay, So this is a good whiskey. Nice, clean, pure spirit. Um, it has good, strong, malty flavour. It is all about the malt. Yeah, it's the real taste of malt, and it's all about the malt. Lots of malt flavour, so you really get to taste the barley. Um, there's a rich creaminess. I heard the expression of Highland cream before, and this, I guess, accentuates that. It gives a really nice mouth feel. It's like a lanolin, and it really coats your mouth and gives a really nice coverage. Um, and yeah, it's a sort of creamy character. Buttery is a good way to describe it too. Good maltiness and rich. Look, it's this is a very pleasant whiskey. It's rated as a dessert whiskey. It's an after dinner whiskey. It's a whiskey that you can sit down and really enjoy. Um, and I think it won't take long to finish the bottle. It's quite enjoyable, um, and yeah, perhaps not as challenging as some of the whiskies we've been doing more recently, but a very interesting whiskey. All the same, um, without perhaps the depth and layers that we've been looking at with some of the whiskies with peat in it, but for its purity, pure spirit, richness of its malt, it's certainly a very good whiskey and a very good dram, a true Highland whiskey, but only just.